Hollywood, the place where dreams turn into fame, where a beautiful face can open doors to fortune and glory. But what happens when that very beauty becomes a double-edged sword? Behind the dazzling red carpet smiles lie risky decisions, marathon surgeries lasting hours, and tears of regret. Some stars lost their careers, some lost their health, and some lost themselves entirely. In today's video, we'll uncover 7 Hollywood celebrities who paid the ultimate price for plastic surgery stories that are shocking, heartbreaking, and impossible to ignore. Stay tuned, because what you're about to see may change the way you think about beauty forever. When it comes to extreme transformations in Hollywood, few names spark as much conversation as Heidi Montag. Once a rising reality TV star on the Hills, Heidi shocked the world in 2010 when she confessed to undergoing 10 cosmetic procedures in a single day. Her story not only highlights the dangerous side of fame, but also the rapid rise of surgical technology that promised instant perfection. The decision was fueled by Heidi's belief that enhancing her body would secure her place in an industry obsessed with youth and beauty. On that single day, she endured a staggering list of operations: a brow lift, a nose revision, fat injections in her cheeks and lips, a chin reduction, breast augmentation, and even liposuction on her waist and thighs. It was a marathon of surgery, one that pushed the limits of what the human body can endure. Technologically, what made this possible was the advancement of modern anesthesia and minimally invasive tools. By 2010, cosmetic surgeons had developed safer ways to combine multiple procedures, shorter incisions, endoscopic techniques, and refined implants that could be inserted with less trauma. These innovations gave celebrities the illusion that massive makeovers could be achieved overnight. However, Heidi's case revealed the hidden risks, prolonged recovery complications from anesthesia, and the psychological burden of drastic change. In interviews afterward, Heidi admitted she felt like a plastic doll rather than herself. The pain was overwhelming, and the long healing process left her regretting the decision. More importantly, she became a cautionary tale about the misuse of technology in pursuit of beauty. Just because surgery could be done did not mean it should be done all at once. Heidi Montag's transformation was a turning point in Hollywood's conversation about cosmetic surgery. It forced the public to ask, how far is too far, and when does technology cross the line from enhancement to self-destruction? If Heidi Montag's story raised questions about the dangers of doing too much too quickly, the journey of Jessica Alves takes us into an entirely different dimension: the lifelong pursuit of becoming someone else. Known for years as the human Ken doll, Jessica underwent more than 70 procedures before ultimately embracing her identity as a transgender woman, reintroducing herself to the world as a real-life Barbie. Jessica's transformation is striking not only for the sheer number of surgeries, but also for the technological evolution that made such changes possible. Early in her journey, Alves relied on traditional cosmetic methods, rhinoplasty, cheek implants, and jaw reshaping. But as medical science advanced, she turned to more sophisticated techniques. Facial feminization surgery, for instance, uses computer-assisted 3D modeling to map the bone structure and guide surgeons in achieving softer, more feminine features. In addition, modern breast augmentation now employs cohesive silicone gel implants, which provide a more natural look and reduce long-term complications compared to older models. Her transformation highlights how medical imaging and biocompatible materials have expanded the boundaries of what surgeons can achieve. Once cosmetic surgery was limited to surface adjustments, today it can alter bone contours, reshape voices, and even adjust hormonal balances through surgical hormonal integration. Jessica's case demonstrates the cutting-edge possibilities of aesthetic medicine, possibilities that blur the line between self-expression and reinvention. Yet her story also reminds us that technology is not a magic wand. Jessica has been open about the physical pain, the financial burden, and the emotional weight of her surgeries. For some, her evolution is inspiring a declaration of personal freedom. For others, it is a warning about obsession and the risks of relying on the scalpel to rewrite identity. Through Jessica Alves, we see how technology can both liberate and confine depending on how it is used. If Jessica Alves represents transformation driven by identity, then Justin Jedlicka embodies transformation driven by obsession with aesthetic perfection. Nicknamed the original human Ken doll, Justin has undergone more than 900 cosmetic procedures, redefining the meaning of body modification in the modern era. What sets Jedlicka apart is not simply the number of surgeries, but the experimental technologies he embraced. Unlike traditional cosmetic patients who focused on facial refinement, Justin sought to redesign his entire physique. He pioneered the use of custom-designed implants for his chest, shoulders, biceps, triceps, and even calves. Unlike standard silicone implants, which are mass-produced, Jedlicka's implants were created with 3D computer modeling and sculpted to fit his body with near-mathematical precision. This bespoke approach turned his body into a living canvas for biomedical art. Transitioning from Jessica's story, which highlighted gender affirmation, Jedlicka's case reveals the engineering side of cosmetic surgery. By collaborating with surgeons and even helping design his implants, he blurred the line between patient and innovator. His modifications were not simply about looking better, but about achieving a hyper-stylized vision of beauty that does not exist in nature. However, the risks are as dramatic as the results. Custom implants can cause scarring or require multiple revisions over time. Jedlicka himself admitted to numerous corrective surgeries, illustrating the trial-and-error nature of pushing technology beyond its tested limits. To his critics, Justin's appearance is unnatural, even disturbing. To his supporters, he represents artistic freedom and the right to control one's body. His journey raises an important question: when surgical technology advances far enough to let us design the human body, are we celebrating progress or stepping into dangerous territory? Through Justin Jedlicka, we witness the convergence of vanity innovation and risk a vivid portrait of how far cosmetic technology can go when perfection becomes an obsession. From Justin Jedlicka's engineered implants, we now turn to a figure whose transformation became one of the most debated in entertainment history: Michael Jackson. Unlike Jedlicka, who openly pursued artistic modification, Jackson's changes were wrapped in secrecy, speculation, and the immense pressure of global fame. Michael's cosmetic journey began with a rhinoplasty in 1979 after a reported nose injury during a dance rehearsal. While originally intended to improve breathing, it also refined his appearance and opened the door to further procedures. Over the next decades, experts suggest he may have undergone dozens of operations, including multiple nose reshaping surgeries, cheek implants, chin augmentation, and eyelid revisions. The technology behind these changes was advanced for its time. In the 1980s and 1990s, surgeons relied heavily on alloplastic implants, synthetic materials like silicone or Gore-Tex, used to reshape facial contours. These materials offered dramatic results, but came with long-term risks such as shifting infection or rejection. Michael's evolving look reflected both the capabilities and the limitations of these tools. Another controversial aspect was his changing skin tone. While critics speculated about skin bleaching, Jackson revealed he suffered from vitiligo, a medical condition causing loss of pigmentation. To achieve an even tone for performances and appearances, doctors used depigmentation treatments and cosmetic camouflage makeup. Here, technology intersected with necessity, blurring the line between health management and aesthetic choice. The result was a transformation that fascinated, shocked, and saddened millions. To some, Michael symbolized the destructive side of fame, where the pursuit of perfection erased identity. To others, he was a visionary experimenting with self-presentation in ways the world had never seen. Michael Jackson's story highlights the double-edged sword of cosmetic technology, its power to reshape and its danger when fueled by relentless pressure. His evolution remains a reminder that even kings are not immune to the price of perfection. From the global stage of Michael Jackson, we now shift to a very different arena: the digital world of Sahar Tabar, an Iranian influencer whose online persona became a worldwide phenomenon. Unlike celebrities shaped by Hollywood surgeons, Sahar's transformation was as much a product of technology and social media as it was of physical procedures. Her rise began in 2017 when images of her zombie-like face went viral. Early rumors claimed she had undergone dozens of surgeries to resemble a distorted version of Angelina Jolie. But Sahar later admitted that many of her shocking photos were heavily altered using digital editing tools and filters. This blend of reality and exaggeration created a spectacle that blurred the boundary between cosmetic modification and technological manipulation. What made Sahar's story so powerful was the way social media algorithms amplified her image. Platforms rewarded extreme content, with visibility pushing her photos into millions of feeds worldwide. Suddenly, she was not just a young woman experimenting with identity, she was a global cautionary tale. The zombie effect became a viral symbol of how far people might go for online recognition. But the consequences were severe. In Iran, where cultural norms tightly regulate personal expression, Sahar was arrested and faced heavy charges. The global outcry that followed eventually led to her release, but the episode underscored the risks of living life at the intersection of digital fame and real-world laws. Sahar Tabar's case demonstrates how modern technology, photo editing apps, viral algorithms, and global social media platforms can magnify personal choices into international controversies. Her journey asks us to confront difficult questions in an age where digital manipulation can outpace surgical reality. What does beauty even mean, and what price are we willing to pay for visibility? After the viral spectacle of Sahar Tabar, we return to the mainstream spotlight of television with Simon Cowell, the sharp-tongued judge behind The X Factor and Got Talent. Unlike Sahar's digital illusions, Simon's transformation came through very visible real-world procedures, and his story reveals how even subtle technologies can be pushed too far. In the 2010s, Simon embraced a series of minimally invasive treatments. These included Botox injections, which temporarily paralyze facial muscles to smooth wrinkles, and dermal fillers, designed to restore lost volume in the cheeks and jawline. At first, these procedures offered a rejuvenated camera-ready look, but as he admitted years later, the cumulative effect became too much. Fans and even his young son commented that he looked more like a caricature than himself. The science behind these treatments is fascinating. Botox, derived from botulinum toxin, works by blocking signals from nerves to muscles, creating a smoother appearance. Dermal fillers, often made of hyaluronic acid, use gel-like substances to plump the skin. When applied in moderation, the results are subtle and temporary. But when overused, they can distort natural proportions, leading to the frozen or exaggerated look Simon eventually regretted. Realizing the impact, Simon made a pivotal decision. He scaled back on cosmetic interventions and turned to wellness-based alternatives. He focused on a healthier diet, hydration, regular facials, and skincare routines, choices rooted in natural maintenance rather than artificial enhancement. This shift not only improved his appearance, but also highlighted an important truth. True transformation often begins with lifestyle, not the surgeon's needle. Simon Cowell's story stands as a reminder that while cosmetic technology can refresh and refine, balance is essential. In chasing youth, even the smallest procedures can tip from enhancement to distortion. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends and hit that subscribe button for more fascinating stories. See you in the next video.